हेलो स्टूडेंट्स। आज मैं आपको एक लाइफ साइकिल डिस्कस कर रहा हूँ एंटेमीबा हिस्टोरेटिका का। ये काफी एक एंडोपैरासाइट है एंटेमीबा हिस्टोरेटिका। आप इसके अगर आप इसके क्लासिफिकेशन के बारे में जानते हैं तो आपको पता है कि ये बिलोंग करता है फाइलम प्रोटोजोआ से। इसका जो सब फाइलम है वो सार्को मैस्टिकोफोरा कहते हैं। इसका जो सुपर क्लास है वो सार्कोडिना है, क्लास राइजोपोडिया है, जीनस इसका एंटेमीबा है और स्पीसीज इसका हिस्टोलाइटिका कहते हैं। तो ओवरऑल इट्स नेम इज कॉल्ड एंटेमीबा हिस्टोलाइटिका। और इसको डिस्कवर किया था, इसके पैथोजेनिक नेचर को सबसे पहले एक रशियन जियोलॉजिस्ट ने डिस्कवर किया था और उसका नाम फ्रेडरिक लॉस कहते हैं। एंड इट वाज roughly around 1875. In the year 1875, that parasite was not discovered, but its pathogenic nature was described by Frederick Lost. That's fine. Now, very important question: how it is spread and how it is spread from humans to human. So basically, Entamoeba histolytica is a monogenetic parasite. I have mentioned here. It's a kind of mono that completes their life cycle in a single host. It completes their life cycle in a single host. So it is called monogenetic parasite. And it usually resides outside the cell, and that's why it is called extracellular parasite, and it is also kind of endoparasite. So if we talk about the nature of this Entamoeba histolytica, so it is a monogenic parasite. It is a extracellular parasite, and it is a endoparasite. And basically, this parasite, through the contaminated food, if we talk about how it is spread from humans to human, mode of transmission is the of contaminated food and water. Contaminated water, through that only this parasite enters in human's body. For example, suppose that is a kind of contaminated food containing the cyst of, I will discuss the name of cyst later on. Suppose this is a kind of contaminated food containing the cyst of Entamoeba histolytica. Now that food enters in human's body along with food. That cyst enters in the human's body along with the food. In human beings, this cyst, quadrinucleated cyst. Remember, this is called infective stage of Entamoeba histolytica. It means the name of the cyst that enters in human's body along with the contaminated food is called quadrinucleated cyst. Look at here. It's called quadrinucleated cyst containing, above that structure a cyst wall is there. Nucleated cyst. Now, if you talk about what happens when the food, when that quadrinucleated cyst along with the food enters in human's stomach. Basically, stomach pH is very acidic. It contains HCl, but that HCl is not very much effective on that cyst wall. So that is very much resistant with the HCl. So in stomach. So it crosses the stomach, but once it enters in the small intestine, a small intestine that contains a enzyme called trypsin that comes from pancreas basically. That trypsin basically dissolves that cyst wall. In the small intestine, enzyme called trypsin, the enzyme called trypsin, trypsin dissolves the cyst wall. Remember, trypsin dissolve the cyst wall, and the quadrinucleated cyst comes out. Cyst, when the cyst wall gets ruptured, now that quadrinucleated cyst is converted into a structure called metacyst. This is called cyst that is without, cyst wall. Now that metacyst, it contains 4 nuclei. Now, because of binary fission, each metacyst gives rise to 8 amoebulae, or that is called metacystic trophozoite. Okay, here cyst gives rise to 8 metacystic trophozoite, also called magniform. Remember, also called magniform, metacystic trophozoite, and this process is called excistation. Structure is coming out from the cyst, basically. That is called excistation. And remember, this metacystic trophozoite, once it gets formed in a small intestine, now along with the movement of undigested food, that enters in your large intestine. Remember, this is a parasite of colon or cecum. Basically, it's a parasite of large intestine only. Now, what happens when this amoebulae or metacystic trophozoite enters in the cecum or colon of the large intestine, along with the undigested food, along with the fecal stream or the undigested food stream, that parasite enters in the large intestine, and once it reaches to large intestine, the mucosal layer, and that amoebulae finally settle down in the submucosa, of cecum and colon. So that is the submucosa or mucosa of large intestine. Remember, enteromucosa damages the tissues part of, or the tissues of the. Now in the submucosa, that metacystic trophozoite secrete a kind of enzyme called histolysine, and that histolysine results in the damage of the tissues, or called necrosis, destruction of tissues or necrosis of the large intestine. What happens in the large intestine to be here? Tissue damage because of that histolysine. Because of tissue damage, flask-shaped ulcer we can see in the part of large intestine, flask-shaped ulcer, and that metacystic trophozoite also feed on RBC, feed on red blood cells. So even it's a kind of diagnosis also. If that trophozoite, when that trophozoite somehow, if it is present in fecal matter, and that trophozoite contains the RBC inside trophozoite, if RBC is there, it is a diagnosis of the presence of the infection of Entamoeba histolytica. So it also feeds on red blood cells. That's fine. And sometimes, remember, that metacystic trophozoite, through the portal system, the portal vein, it may enters in your liver. That may results in inflammation of liver, the swelling of liver, and basically the functional part of liver get disturbed, and that is called amoeboic hepatitis also. Remember, so it means Entamoeba histolytica also damages to our liver tissues. I told you, when the metacystic trophozoite enters in the liver through the hepatic portal system, Even sometimes that parasite through the blood circulation, it may infect your brain, your lungs, and that may be very fatal for human beings. That's fine. Now, look at here how it moves out, how it reaches to another host. Now, if a person is severely suffering from, it results in tissue damage, necrosis of tissues, rupturing of blood vessels may happen. The minute blood vessels may get ruptured, that is present in body tissues. So, if you talk about the symptoms of the infected person, symptoms is what? Constipation is a very common symptom. Amoebic dysentery. Amoebic dysentery. Dysentery means the blood clot comes out in the fecal substances. So presence of blood and mucus along with the fecal matter. In the fecal matter, if there is blood clot or the mucus, this kind of processes, this kind of amoebic dysentery. Dysentery means the discharge of blood in the fecal substances. If we talk about diarrhea, in diarrhea there is no blood clot in the fecal substances, but in dysentery, blood clot is there. So this is the part of amoebiasis. Suffer from abdominal pain, cramping also happens. So that is all about the symptoms of Entamoeba, infection of Entamoeba histolytica, and remember the received that quadrinucleated cyst along with the contaminated food. Symptoms appears roughly from 1 to 4 weeks. That's fine. It is called incubation period. Now, before that host develops some kind of resistance against that protozoa, now that cyst, now that metacystic trophozoite, if it will survive for a longer duration, host will also develop some kind of resistance or immunity against that parasite. Now what happens? Now that metacystic trophozoite, after creating lots of damage to the body parts of human beings, it is converted into a pre-cyst form. Look at here, metacystic trophozoite converted into pre-cyst form, minuta, also called. Now that pre-cyst again converted into quadrinucleated cyst in the lumen of intestine. Remember, we cannot see a quadrinucleated cyst in the body tissues or the tissues of large intestine. Once that pre-cyst enters in the lumen part, here it develops into quadrinucleated cyst. Nucleated cyst, and that cyst, fecal along with the fecal substances comes out from the body. Now, if that fecal matter is present in open in the agricultural field or anywhere, that fecal the quadrinucleated cyst in large number. And remember, this fecal matter also contains some white stone set, charcoal leaden crystal. Very important term, charcoal leaden crystal. That presence in the fecal matter also confirm the infection of Entamoeba histolytica. Now, if that fecal matter contains large number of quadrinucleated cysts, that cyst in the moist soil can survive up to 10 days. In between that, if any kind of mechanical vector, those who are very much coprophagous, like housefly or cockroach, if that mechanical vector feed on that fecal substances, that fecal matter, from that that fecal matter, if housefly or cockroach takes that uh, quadrinucleated cyst in their legs, what happens? From that mechanical vector, basically housefly and cockroach here act like as mechanical vector, and with the help of that mechanical vector, now that cyst reaches to your food substances, and once that quadrinucleated cyst arrives to your food or enters in your food, along with the help of that mechanical vector, now that kind of food is called contaminated food, and that is the life cycle of Entamoeba histolytica. That's fine. So remember, I told you earlier, it's a kind of monogenetic parasite. Completion of life cycle occurs in humans body only. But just to carry that cyst from one host to another host, a mechanical vector is there, and that mechanical vector may be housefly or cockroach. That's fine. And it's a very common parasite in the developing countries where we do not care for our hygiene. So like a country like India, Bangladesh, Myanmar, many Latin American countries also is a very infected. It's a very common area where that infection is very common. Thank you.